The BHP podcast is presented by BowHunterPlanet.com. Join the hunt.
The BHP podcast is proudly presented by Cold Steel Knives, HHA Sports, Reveal Cellular Cameras by Tacticam, Element Outdoors, Skull Hooker, Scott Archery, and Burris Optics.
Hey everyone, this is Tim for BowHunterPlanet. Make sure you check out the new podcast, Respect the Game, wherever you find your podcasts.
Hey guys, Dave Thomas here from BowHunterPlanet.com, and welcome to the podcast. This week we have Bowtech on. This is really exciting. Todd, how you been, man? How's things going over there?
Going great. Back in the office finally here. We're actually starting to get back to normal a little bit. Still doing a little of the social distancing, but we all have our masks. Mine's over here behind me, so as long as we can distance, we're back at work, and I'm here all the time. This is big development, product development season for us, so I pretty much have to be in the office, which is good. It's an exciting time.
So Todd, that's awesome. Yeah, we love when you're on, Todd. Yeah, go on, Dave. I'm
sorry. I was just curious on development phase timing. So for people who don't really understand the archery industry, maybe who are listening to this, can you explain kind of the January 1st through launch, like kind of what happens at a bow company?
Sure, and really, most companies, I would say, I don't want to speak for most companies, but generally, archery companies are at least 2 years ahead, at least, on a development cycle when we're looking at our roadmap. And you see, you guys know, most all of the companies like ourselves launch right in that November timeframe, but really we are already working on 22. Or 20, we're about ready to launch 21. We're already working on 22, looking down the road. So, but this time of year is really when we're, for January coming out of the ATA show is generally when we start looking at, they're looking at more of the proofing of the product. We're building prototypes. Usually right around that springtime, February, March, April is prototype time. All of us, we have product in our hands. We're out playing around with them, trying to break them. We've got bows on the cycle machines. And then as we get into this phase is when we start getting into the actual production type builds. So they're testing, they're training folks on the line, making sure they know how to build the bows. This is the time when we start doing photography, all of our cool creative stuff in preparation. It's now is the exciting time because everything's coming together. Hang tags, photography. I'm going to be going on a couple trips here, probably at the end of the month with creative agencies doing photography. So it's busy but exciting. This is when you start seeing all your work come to fruition through the year.
I'll tell you, I'm really excited that you guys are looking towards a 2022. I wasn't expecting anybody to see a year past 2020 at this point with everything going on. So that's awesome that you guys keep planning stuff out, and you guys do such a great job. With the launches, your launches come November are just so exciting because you guys hit it hard, and you guys hit it hard on the platforms. And so I had a question for you: is how many people does it take to put like the launch stuff together? You got the development side of it, but walk us through kind of that launch side of it, because that's exciting.
We have a smaller team than you would expect. And what they say we don't have in numbers, we have in grit.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of cool people, and I've got a lot of time in the industry. So as our director of marketing, we have a relatively new guy that came on board. Our director of digital strategy, our digital strategy manager came on with us right at the ATA show. We actually hired him two weeks before the ATA show, and we told him you're leaving for the ATA show in 2 weeks. But smart guy, and he's in charge of all the digital. I'm in charge of the brand. We work together, and he's basically I create all the messaging, and he figures out how he's going to take it to the market on the digital standpoint. We work together. I make sure that what he's taking to market is correct, but and we have we have a lot of we work, like I mentioned, we work with creative agencies because of the size of the team. We need to. And I think it's much not easier. Out of the norm. But again, they say, well, we don't have numbers, we have in grit. And we have a core crew. So everything you see on social media, our core crew is making our content. We have our studio right here. So with going on right now in society, though, it's a little tougher to get us in the studio because we're pretty tight in there. The studio's smaller than it looks. So it's not a lot of social distancing.
Aren't they all?
Yeah.
They're all
Yeah.
smaller than they look.
About the size of what Dave's sitting in right there.
It's all about the angle.
It is. Yep.
That's all about the angle, wide lens.
Get the fisheye going right there.
I love it.
So Todd, with all this going on, I don't know from a sales perspective, but were things like scary for a little bit and then they started going back up? Because I mean, from what I've seen, I feel like it's going crazy right now. I feel like most companies can't keep things in stock. So what's happening for you guys that you're seeing?
And realistically, honestly, this quarter, this time, right when this hit, this is actually, better than our norm, because traditionally this time of year for archery is a drop, just because nobody's thinking about bows until July 4th, really.
Yeah.
We're thinking about hunting, but for us, it's been great. And we, like any company, you get concerned when this happens. People can't get out. Some of the states, the dealers have to close their shops, but they can do curbside. So you have to react pretty quickly. And for us, it was more about taking care of our dealers more so. We don't want, and there are some that were lost. I mean, we see them all the time on social media. Hey, they had to close their doors. We needed to react to that quickly and make sure that they didn't have to do that. So we talked about, I think, on our last podcast, as far as, we put together some initiatives to support your local dealer. It's what it was about.
Yeah.
Get into your local dealer. They have curbside pickup. So that's what really helped. And I saw a lot of the other manufacturers doing that as well. I think they realized it was more about less self-preservation, because if you don't keep your dealers in business, you're going to go out anyhow. So I think that's really what got through us. And the great thing about it is the dealers saw that, and it really helped us from a business standpoint as well. They know who got them through it,
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it was just such a weird time. Like, no one knows what the heck is going to happen. Then all of a sudden, things are going opposite direction and things are selling, and it's just crazy.
Right.
I mean, it speaks to Bowtech's passion, though, too, right? Sorry, but I just want to. You guys are so passionate about the industry, about your dealers, about your clients, and that's what showed through this entire thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this was all about making sure that things are going to go back to normal once we get there, and you guys did a phenomenal job promoting that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's we love our consumers, we love our dealers, and it's for not for them. We wouldn't make it, so we got to make sure we can do everything they can. And the good thing about now is too, even I shouldn't say the good thing, but kids not in school, they have an opportunity to try out archery as well. I mean, if you're going to look at a positive in this, there are a lot of kids I see are picking up archery just for
what you mean this?
There you go, man. You got the atomic right there.
We were just talking about this
glowing in the dark.
On the live feed. I said that you said you might be willing to give one of these babies away to people.
I think I could probably work that. I could twist some arms out there.
Yeah, because we need to get more kids going, and we need things like this.
It does.
And this is the perfect. Now, hey Todd, speaking of this bow, when we talk about this against the Prism, what is your age range on this one, and then what age would a kid move up to the Prism type bow?
You start looking at your frame size, because I've seen some pretty tall 8-year-olds. I've seen some pretty short 8-year-olds. I mean, generally we say, around the 5-year mark to get into the atomic there. But I think when you start looking in that 8-9 frame size, height wise, they start looking at the Prism potentially, because you need to get a little more poundage. You get into some of the school programs, and you need something that's a little more stable at a little taller kid. You can start getting into the Prism, and even we get strong kids that jump into the Edge 320 as well.
Oh wow, I didn't think of that. That's a good idea. Very cool. So let's talk about the Guardian. So I know that this kind of just happened recently. So I guess tell us about that. Like, where did this come from, this idea, and then tell us about the bow.
Interestingly enough, we've been working on. We've talked about the cycles. We've been talking about that one for almost 2 years, because you guys mentioned too, I think before, that we've always been known as a super patriotic company. I mean, we had a whole series of bows, Allegiance, Tribute, Guardian, Commander, that was really focused on that. Then we had the limited edition. Oh, great, there's the Guardian. We had the limited edition Chris Kyle, which was a phenomenal bow for us. We haven't really. And it was really, we were giving back to the Frog Foundation on that, more so from that standpoint. Since then, we haven't really had anything, and people been screaming, social media, hey, you guys need to do another tribute bow. So that's where the Guardian came about. We were thinking, what can we do? Who can, we need to do something different. And we don't, there's military, but you can't forsake our frontline first responders. And another, I know, again, I don't want to say a positive from COVID, but came out is that, the Guardians are getting in there, digging in. As if it wasn't for, first responders, fire, EMS, even our, the frontline medical workers that have to deal with all these people and have to see this day in and day out. It's the least we could do to come out with a Guardian like this. And it's not about selling bows, it's giving back. And that's why we teamed up with Heroes and Horses and the PTSD Foundation of America. And they're two great organizations. Heroes and Horses has always been a foundation that's been close to our company as a whole, our investment group. They weren't widely known, but they do some phenomenal stuff. And the PTSD Foundation of America, I mean, everybody knows that. And that, PTSD affects the lives of not just military, but also first responders. And, we know, and now you guys know what they have to deal with day in and day out. And again, it's the least we can do. So and the cool thing about the Guardian is every person that buys that, you get to select when you register your bow, you get to tell us where you want your portion of the proceeds to go to. So we're not going to pick, you're going to pick. And they're excited. Both of the foundations is really excited as far as what we're doing there. And it's built on our award-winning Realm platform with the overdrive technology. So you're getting a premium performance bow, but also in the limited edition platform.
So how does somebody buy that bow? Is that something that's just offered online, or what? How do you guys
it's local dealer only. So like with all of our Bowtech bows, it's available from independent pro shops only. So we do have those in stock, guys, too. We actually been putting some stuff on social media. Dealers have them in stock. It is a limited edition, so they're going fast. So we want to make sure that folks do not miss out on this, because once they're gone, they're gone. So get in there, ask for them. Dealers have them, try them out. If your dealer doesn't have them, tell them to get them in, because we can get one there quick. Because again, they're going pretty quick, and I've seen a lot of them coming up on social media. People are buying them, and we just posted an interesting story on two firefighters that their dad purchased two Guardians for them and bought them in their the serialized badge numbers.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I think 75 and 76 were their fire badge numbers, and he asked for those two serial numbers. So
I was telling a friend the other day, Todd. Sorry, Tim. I was telling my friend the other day, he had bought this bow, and I said to him, I love this bow, the Realm SS. This is like literally my favorite bow. And then you guys put this bow out, and it really made me mad, because it was like I liked it better. I'm like, what? How can you build off that? Like, how could you go better than the? I mean, yes, that was so smooth, but then this one was just as smooth.
Yeah. Well, then you're gonna like 2021 then.
Oh,
we got some cool stuff. And in the Revolt and Revolt X, they were our first deadlock technology on a hunting platform. We came out with the Revolt, or I'm sorry, the Reckoning and Reckoning 38 were our first two target platforms. And then we introduced it this year on the Revolt and the Revolt X. I'm actually, our opening day is Saturday. I'm heading east side of the state tomorrow, and I'm hunting with the Revolt X.
Yeah, that's awesome. Really
cool. I'm excited to get out there. So.
That's awesome. So you guys have been getting some pretty good feedback on that deadlock system?
It is. And, even dealers, I've seen dealers online touting, and that's, not just for consumers, it's great for dealers, because they're able to have a consumer come in, tune them fast, and get them out the door. And consumers are seeing that. They don't want to, pro shops are great, don't get me wrong, but they want to be out hunting. And it's less time in the shop. The dealers have a great opportunity to set them up quick, have a happy customer. And that's what I'm hearing. Dealers love it because it saves them time. But customers come back for other things, not to get their bows retuned. They're coming back to buy accessories and clothing, and they're happier about the performance of the bow. It's been great.
That's awesome, man. I can't wait to see what you guys are coming up with. You guys do such a great job. And that Guardian thing, by the way, I just got to say, you guys are not only smart, but that just proves your brand in regards to what your vision is, giving back, getting people involved. That is absolutely amazing.
I appreciate that. That's like I said, this is the least we can do. We're excited to get it out.
Yeah, that's really cool. There's so many. It's just so exciting when you have so many good bow options. I just think it's amazing. Yeah. On top of that's just Bowtech. You're not even talking Diamond or
Diamond. Even
so many options.
Yeah. Even when you get into crossbows for us and Excalibur brands, I mean, there's.
Oh,
Well, I'll tell you, we get a lot of questions around, and I get them probably, if not weekly, daily. Tim, what would you buy? And hands down, my answer has always been, if I'm spending my money on a crossbow, I'm going with an Excalibur, and I'll go with an Excalibur all day long because of the durability of it and the accuracy of
longevity.
it. Like, you just can't.
Right.
Right.
And that's what I mean. We've been around forever. Yeah. So here's our Pure Archery Group site. So a lot of consumers may not know about Pure Archery Group. It's a group that we actually officially launched at the ATA show. We've been a family of companies for a long time, but Pure Archery Group, for those of you who don't know, is a group of 7 companies: Bowtech, Excalibur, Diamond Archery, Black Gold sights, Tight Spot quivers, Ripcord arrow rests, and Octane accessories. And we're focused on building the most premium product out there, and that's why you see this whole family of products. And that we call that the Pure Archery Group. So that's more of a, when we go to dealers and things like that, they were able to recognize those brands. But Excalibur specifically, we've been in business over 30 years, and that's a lot to do with our loyal fan base that have been with us forever, and they recognize that durability. And the great thing is now the younger generation is starting to see that too. They're seeing why they're seeing why grandpa shot Excalibur crossbow. I don't want to make it sound like Excalibur crossbow is the old guy brand, because it's not. Now it's that younger crowd, because they want something that's going to take a beating, not have to worry about it. And that's what we're about. Super simplicity. You drop that out of a tree. I mean, like we talked about the whole destruction challenge we did. We dropped it out of a helicopter, picked it up, and shot a bullseye. You drop a cam on the ground, that's not happening.
Yeah.
But the good thing
I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine not that long ago, and he's he's an amazing hunter, been hunting for years, but he's a gun hunter, right? Mm-hmm. He does bow hunting, but the only thing he'll ever do in bow hunting is traditional bow, and that's what he's done for 20 years. He won't touch a compound, refuses to, and that's just how he is. But he's getting older, right? And he's like, Tim, he's like, what would you buy? And I told him about Excalibur. I didn't tell him what it looked like. I didn't tell him anything like that. I told him the reasons, exactly what I said to you, as to why I would look at Excalibur. And he looked at it. That recurve style, I'll tell you right now, that sold him on it in a heartbeat. It just took that traditional, and obviously it's a crossbow versus traditional, and it's completely different. But that just carried forward that tradition for him, and he bought an Excalibur. Absolutely loves it.
Nice. Not to mention the service and stuff. I had one of those bolts on the back of the Assassin fall out, and I just got loose, and eventually I lost it. Mm-hmm. So I went up to Excalibur at the Woods and Water show, and I'm like, hey, this bolt came. I was like, oh, here you go. You're all set. And I'm like, really? All right. I didn't even tell him who I was.
Right. I think one of the great things about Excalibur is for the kids, right?
Oh,
there's not so many parts that I'm worried about them getting their fingers up in. Just straight.
Yep. Well, and that's that.
Yeah. And that's what even on our, there's a lot of, with a lot of crossbows, there's, high poundage and everything else. And we want to make sure, even with the internal crank, like on the Assassin back there, we want to be able to incorporate that where anybody can shoot that. You have to worry about drawing it back, and, so it's been great. And we got some cool things coming out. I gave Dave a little teaser yesterday. Without giving out too much, guys, stand by for 2021. That's all I can say.
I'll tell you.
I wish I could tell you guys.
Last year,
I threatened Dave within an inch of his life to not say a word.
Well, and he hasn't. But I'll tell you, last year, because what was it? A couple years ago, we had the Assassin, and we were playing around with the Assassin, and we were like, dude, there's no way they can improve on this thing. It's absolutely amazing. And then you guys came out with the takedown last year, and we were just blown away with the technology jumps that you can continuously make. It's absolutely amazing. So I can't wait to see what you guys have come out.
Just wait. That's all I can say. Just wait. You guys have not seen this before in the crossbow industry.
It's going to be crazy.
It's nuts. And actually, I'm headed to Missouri. That's where I'm headed at the end of the month, and I'm going to do a little filming. And
you better hide that.
I can't wait. That's awesome.
Yep. So we had a couple years ago. I don't remember, Jamie. It must have been maybe 3 or 4 years ago now. But we had some Excalibur prototypes. They sent us to do. I think this is before you took over the marketing, though, Todd. But they sent us a couple for imagery. and they were like, they never came out. They're bows that never came out, but they were pretty cool bows. There's modifications that have come out of different bows.
Sure.
But can I get that back?
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. When I get you one of these ones, and I'm going to make sure I get you guys one early because we want to make sure you get them in your hands.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
Can't wait to work on the videos for that. I do want to talk to you about this real quick. I just saw this, and now I'm gonna give you some crap about it because I just seen this. There's a Yeti on there.
Keep shooting, man.
That's awesome. That is really cool. Did you do that? Come up with that? It's awesome.
We take it for granted. We take Bigfoot for granted out here a little bit because that's a normal conversation for us. That's cool. And the funny thing, we came up with that, and we actually debuted it at the Vegas tournament, and we could not actually that vintage Raglan tee right there with the 3/4 sleeve, the blue and the gray one.
Yeah.
No, that one's kind of a love-hate. Usually you get people like that love them or don't like them. We sold the heck out of those, and it was
awesome.
We had a family. They came back and bought one. The rest of the family came back because out here you take it for granted. Out west, people don't see Bigfoot stuff much like that, especially in archery. It's nuts.
Looking good in here. This stuff's looking cool. You guys did a great job on this.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
I love this part of the business. This is the best part of the business to me. I love it.
We come out with new stuff right around every January. So.
Yeah, cool, man. I love these type with the mountains. The guy's so cool behind it.
I'm gonna have to get you guys some codes and get you guys hooked up too.
This one's great. Yeah, this is cool. Oh, I love that mountain patch. It just looks so great. That's the first time I've seen this red one. That's really cool. Yeah, that's cool, man. All right, so what else do we want to cover today? Oh, so what about the other brands, Todd? Let's talk about like Black Gold. I mean, you're talking top-notch sites. So I guess tell us a little bit about where you're at with that right now.
Yeah, and especially with Black Gold and even all of our brands from Montana, we always call them Montana brands, but it's Black Gold, Ripcord, and Tight Spot. They started out with a very, very Western centric product line because obviously they're from the West, but that's why you see a lot of the stuff coming out now that's more focused on the bow hunter, the whitetail bow hunter, because we want to take that quality product and make it accessible for the whitetail hunter. And the great, we came out the whitetail site this past year with the on the Black Gold side, and also like the 3-arrow short quiver, the 5-arrow short quiver, the whitetail quivers on Tight Spot, more oriented for the whitetail hunters. So we went a little more versatility in there instead of just the single pin movers that a Western hunter might shoot. You get a little more range, and then the target sights. We have a lot of people shooting in the pro division, shooting those target sights as well. Tim Gillingham, Riku Van Tonder shooting it, goes above and it's exciting for us to be able to help our other brands to start moving into that whitetail market, and it's across all 3 of those brands from Montana. We're getting a lot of good traction in the whitetail market now.
Dave, you're muted, bud.
Oh, Dave dropped the ball. He's muted.
Sorry. Yeah, the kids are screaming. I had to mute it. But one thing people don't realize about Montana Black Gold is that the sight pin housing has like an automatic, I forgot the word for it, but it changes to purple when there's too much.
It does, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Basically photochromatic. So what it does, it dims itself. So under darker shooting conditions, you get a brighter pin, but as you get in the sun, it doesn't, because you guys know a lot of times you get in a fiber optic in the sun, sometimes it's too glaring and you get a really bad halo. So what that photochromatic does, it dims down those pins a little bit. You still get a bright pin out in the sunlight, but you still don't lose your sight picture from that halo effect.
Yeah, it's really cool. I remember when Dustin told me about how that worked, and I was like, you serious? Like that is real. I mean, it's simple stuff like you come up with this idea, put it on there, and it works, and it's just unbelievable how they come up with this. This is really, really cool.
I'm sure it's that easy too, right? You do it, you put it on there, and it just works.
Yeah, it's simple. It's just a moving part. It's simple. I mean, I shot before we actually brought them on board under the family of brands. I shot their stuff because I loved it. It has features that actually have a benefit, not bells and whistles. And that's what I respect, because we're the same way on our other brands.
Yeah, and then real quick, I'll just say Ripcord has just been obviously one of the best rests in the market. So I mean, there's not really a lot to say there. It's just it works great, and everybody uses them.
Coming out with some every year. We have some neat stuff coming out this next year again. I think across all of our brands. I don't know how we all keep up with everything. You know, I'm managing all the brands now from a marketing standpoint. It's tough, but again, it's exciting. So.
Yeah, it's a lot going on, man. So, all right, cool. Well, anything else, Todd, you want to cover today?
Oh man, this has been great. We're just excited. Hunting season's coming up. It's finally exciting to get back to something normal for us as bow hunters.
Yes.
Hunters, you know, I was talking with a couple guys from Mossy Oak via text this morning. Like, man, I'm ready. Hit the field. I'm sure everybody else is.
I was just thinking the next time we talk is probably going to be closer to launch dates because we're already in September. So I'm excited to have you back on. We'll have you on before you guys launch. That'll be exciting and kind of talk about, we'll preview the podcast so it's ready to rock and talking about the new stuff and we can get it out there. That'll be exciting. You guys are still planning to go to AT at this point, correct? Yeah.
I mean, we're reserved we've got our slot. I mean, we're kind of been talking with them. I mean, we bought feature product space just today. So far they're still optimistic. We're optimistic. We'll have to see how it goes, especially with the border too, because we have a lot of our Canadian family members up there.
I have to come down.
Yeah, hopefully.
Where's it at this year?
They deem the trade show as essential. So.
It's in India again?
Yes. Yep.
Cool. All right, Todd. Bowtech.
All right, man.
Check them out.
Good luck.
Thanks
good luck
lot,
hunting on your trips here coming up.
All right, man. I'm excited. You guys as well. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, man. We'll see you.
Thanks so much for listening to the Bow Hunter Planet podcast online at BowHunterPlanet.com with your host, Team BHP. Check us out on Facebook at Bow Hunter Planet. We'll catch you next time.